What do a millennial and a pastor from Gen X have in common? Not much, but they love the Lord and they love life. Join us as Justin and Sam look at the lighter side of Bible, church, and life with Making Light of It.
And welcome back to episode 13 of Making Light of It, 13 being...
Trece.
Trece. We got the rolling R.
I'm proud that you rolled your R's. So
you know what? It was probably the beverage I just had just sitting out there and the bubbles coming out.
Nice and cold beverage.
That's probably, it is a nice cold beverage. So, sparkling ice, caffeine, because that's the kind of day I've had. So I need a little boost.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. Could be. We're open to it. But it's good. It's not. It says zero sugar, full flavor.
What's your favorite flavor? Is raspberry your favorite? Because I've seen you have raspberry multiple times, but that could mean a couple things.
So it means accessibility.
Okay.
It's the one I have.
Yeah, gotcha.
So there's a couple in there.
Well, I know they only sell like a couple flavors.
I won't do cherry.
One pack. So.
I don't do cherry drinks. I don't do cherry much anything. So if they add cherry to it, count me out.
Do you
it's
eat
not
cherries?
happening. No, not in the slightest.
Wow.
So if I get
cherries.
A sundae and there's a cherry on top, Joyce gets a cherry on top. And God forbid, if I go there and I say, no cherry, and my wife was with me,
yeah, it's disrespectful.
She's drawing up divorce papers right in the middle. like, lady, I don't want the cherry. I don't want the cherry juice on it.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, I don't like a lot of whipped cream on it either. So my default is say I don't want any of that. But then I got to remember my spouse is there.
Yeah,
you
can't forget her.
And so she takes care.
So a little bit different, but Eliana doesn't like pickles, but I still tell her to get the pickles on her sandwiches so I can have
on
them.
the sandwiches.
Yeah,
you heartless. No,
low key, she probably still likes the flavor.
No. Because you can't get pickles on the sandwich without it influencing the whole sandwich. And that poor kid doesn't like pickles. Yeah. Don't ruin her sandwich for your selfish needs.
I'm building her tolerance.
What kind of father are you? No.
I'm building her tolerance. Do you not know the pickle delicacies that she could be enjoying in her life?
There's one pickle delicacy, and it's dill pickle by itself.
Dill pickles?
And the story.
Fried pickle?
No.
Yeah.
No. Keep going. You gave me two.
Yeah.
And only
pickle
one.
On a stick?
It's a dill pickle on a stick. It's just
Pickles
a different way of
burgers?
eating it. It's just a different way of holding it. Pickle are terrible.
Pickle chips?
No. Like pickle.
We're
dill
in a pickle here.
Or spear. Like
a spare, spare.
So
yeah.
what about
spear?
What about
spare?
Not a spare.
I call it spare.
You call them spare?
Yeah.
Spare is when you have
feels violent.
more pickles than you actually want. Then you have spare
Technically,
pickle.
there are more pickles in the jars.
what about pickled
There are
pickles?
spare pickles. There's pickles.
There, Rob?
Pickled pickles?
No, you know
Yes.
have you had bread and butter pickles?
My
son loves them.
Really?
Terrible. He's got
I
problems.
have to have kosher dill pickles. I don't
He does.
think
I'm not going to shy away from that. He's got issues on that stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't get that.
Listen,
from
he
me.
likes. We go to. Doesn't matter what restaurant we go to. He's a chicken nuggets and fries guy.
Hey.
Some big fancy restaurant, chicken nuggets and fries.
Can't mess that up.
Bread and butter pickles. He won't eat dill. I'm like no.
On the side,
no, like
or like with it. He'll put
I
it
don't
on
know.
the.
I don't eat. I tune out. At that moment in time, I started looking for his real parents. And,
I look down in disappointment and just forget about the evening.
Speaking of family,
It's a good segue. Wow, that was an organic segue. There.
Draw that right in there. We have on episode Trece, we have our second guest ever all time, and it is one of my most favorite people. I'm going to give a little bit of an intro here. So he kind of grew up with my family, so desperately wanted to be a part of my family that he actually married my sister.
No way.
That's how badly
he
he wanted to be in on it, that he made the sacrifice and married my sister. His name is Adam Miner.
Adam.
And there's nothing weirder than having your sister's name changed.
Yeah, right. Because you've called her Remple your whole life.
The whole life. She's always been a
then all of a
Remple.
sudden you just got to change it up.
Now she's not. Now she's a minor.
She's a minor.
We remind her that all the time. She went from Rimple to being something minor. But my brother-in-law, Adam Miner, who, let me finish this. He is currently the chief editor of Word of Life Youth Ministries, meaning
Shout out to that.
if they draw something, they write something for the kids, he's got to give the approval on it. He is also the co-host of a podcast out there called Gospelicious, or is it Gospelicious Radio?
Gospelicious Radio, yes.
Gospelicious Radio that he hosts with his pastor. So very exciting times
cool.
there. And
like
he
it.
is one of the more fun, creative peoples that I know. Ladies and gentlemen, if we had a clapping thing, we would do it. We're going to do it. My brother-in-law, Adam Miner.
Adam,
Hey! Hello! What an introduction!
It is an introduction.
That introduction and all that stuff you said about me marrying into your family, all true.
Oh, true. Oh, true. I can validate that.
All true. All
I'm
true.
going to find out if my sister actually listens to this podcast. So
I said, I got to know Sam better. I have to know him better. I got to get into this family somehow. And I found my way in.
Yeah, he got his way in. Actually, he's really good friends with my brother Seth, who we had on a couple weeks. So they were like besties, kind of grown up. And then somehow, some way, found my sister, and and now it's ancient history. Now my parents love him more than they do their own sons.
Wow.
So it could be because of his two adorable kids, my nephew and my niece. My
That
nephew,
helps.
who I feel is almost like my mini-me.
Is that the nephew who wants to be a Remple?
That's the nephew that wants to be a Rumple.
Awesome.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
I had a feeling it would come up. Yeah.
It had to come up.
He very much embraces the Rempel side. That's for sure.
great. I
He
love
does
it.
for sure. We actually one Christmas got him geared saying, "I wish I was a Rumple."
Yeah, that's great.
Just a hilarious. Like I think like his personality obviously is the best of you and my sister. Like he's the greatest combination of that. He's a kid that has no fear. He's going to be either a world evangelist or a clown at a three-ring circus. He's going to be one of the two. There's no in
There's no
between.
in
Or he might do both. But yeah, he's my little guy, and he was on a podcast when I used to do one with my wife back in the day. So, Adam, welcome to Making Light of It, and I think you'll fit right in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Around
Thank you
here.
guys for having me. It's an honor to be on. Second guest. I was kind of offended that you asked Seth first, but
See how badly you wanted in.
Gotta be on this.
no, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so we're actually going to talk a little bit. It's funny how God works and all these sort of things. As I'm praying, I'm prepping. All right, what's going to be our devotional for this time? And I always try to find all the 2 times that we had guests on, something that actually relates to the individuals coming on, so they have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And Adam, I know, he's been an editor. He's been an editor of newspapers, and now, of course, Word of Life. He's done a few different things, but I know he's good with like teaching. Like he's a very good teacher and studier of the scriptures. So it goes without saying that I'm like, well, what scripture can we kind of focus in on? And it's going to be Psalm 119, 105. But before we go into that, I want to preface this thing. Now, Adam, you're 5-6 years younger than me, right? About 5 years younger than me. So you'll probably be very familiar with this process. And I think you're an old soul. Have you ever used MapQuest, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but just to print it out.
Went
Have
online,
it in,
print it
have it
out,
in the car,
right
physical
there.
papers. I don't know how they did it because I need the person to tell me what to do. I can't. What do you mean Route 296 on south? Like no, just show me the picture of where to go.
North on and all that kind of stuff. Adam, you were a MapQuest guy?
Yeah, when I first started driving, I had the big Atlas in my car,
Yep.
but it wasn't soon after that MapQuest became the thing. So
I imagine your parents are probably like your dad's probably like my dad. Like we had the map, he'd pull it out. So I learned how to read it, shortcuts, all that kind of stuff. You go on vacations, you get. We used to use AAA vacations where they would map it out for you, and literally you get like a booklet of MapQuest. Really, it's like all these different turns and stops and kind of redirects and everything. Well, now we have Google Maps, we have Waze, and what does Apple do?
Apple Maps.
Apple Maps. Well, how original?
How
for
original?
Apple.
Yeah.
Are you a Google Maps or Apple Maps?
Apple Maps.
Adam, Apple Maps, I'm assuming.
I use Google Maps.
Oh, there we go.
Sarah likes Waze.
Okay.
Because the Waze does the whole, well, it's not like I speed or anything, but it has like the police updates on it.
In case of emergency, right?
Yeah,
You
of
wanna
course.
know that
Oh
they're-
yeah. But I'm a Google Maps guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm odd like that.
Yeah,
But
Google
by
Maps.
the way, can I pause for a second?
You can pause
for just
for
a
a
second, because I have thoughts on your introduction.
Okay, great. I love it.
You guys were debating some stuff. First of all, kiwi strawberry for the win for
Yes,
ice
Done.
Okay.
Done. 1,000%. That's my go-to on the ice.
for sure. Whipped cream and cherry. Come on, for sure. You gotta have that on
Hard
there.
Thank you,
pass.
Adam.
Hard pass. No,
I could eat those maraschino cherries straight out of the jar. I love those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
they're not even real
Borderline
cherries.
drinking the juice too.
They're not, which is why they're the best.
It's like gelatin.
Yeah, basically. And then pickles on a sandwich.
Yeah, no,
Come on.
right? Yeah, exactly. Pickle on the
It does.
side.
It contaminates. Sorry to disappoint you, Justin, but
It's all right,
it does contaminate the sandwich. I do like pickles on the side, and I'm equal opportunity. Love all pickles.
Okay,
Oh,
sweet.
my
I can
goodness.
jive. With
I don't
that.
know if you need to go that far.
I could
but-
sacrifice the
So
pickles on the
basically,
sandwich.
we do agree.
That's all I got.
He is like totally bad parent move, telling his daughter get the pickles on the sandwich so he can eat pickles.
And she lovingly gets it, and she'll take it off.
Not
and she'll-
lovingly. Who's paying for this meal?
Oh, me.
She begrudgingly gets it and deals with
If
it.
you want that sandwich,
Who
you
would have
get
thought
the
that we would
pickles.
be breaking down bad pickle manners on this podcast?
You never know what you're going to get on making light of it. That's
You
for sure.
really don't. I mean, we've tried a plan and it just goes haywire every single time.
Sorry to derail you there. That one was my fault.
No, that's totally fine. Hey, so let's go back to the maps and the patterns and all that kind of stuff. So we're all grown men with children. Have you ever tried to walk through your house in the dark?
Yeah.
What almost always happens?
Stub your toe.
You stub your toe, step on something. It
Walk
just
into the dog.
I don't. So I do have a problem with it. I have a black dog
Okay.
that likes to lay in the middle of a black carpet I have in my
Yeah.
bed. Literally
But-
just disappeared. He's gone. He's gone. And so you kind of learn how to shuffle right along. But I think we've all at one point in time either like I've stepped on Legos. Adam stepped on Legos. I know Legos are in your house.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, I'm going to give you a little heads up on here. I see you nodding your head. This is a podcast. If you don't say words, half the people aren't going to have any idea what you're doing. So,
Okay.
did you step on a Lego before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've stepped on many things with jagged edges that may or may not have drawn blood. That's for sure. But
Ooh, I didn't want to
Not
think
fun.
about foot sores and stuff like that. So the reason why we stumble on these things is we don't have the light, that's in our ways, and so we have a hallway here at work, and we never turn the light on.
Great
right?
example. Yeah.
And we go walking up and down, and I can always tell someone's been visiting our office because they'll turn the light onto the hallway, which we don't need.
Yeah.
But then on rare occasions, someone might leave something outside our office without bringing it in, and without turning on that light, bam, we're just
into
crash
it.
and crush it
Even
right
if
into
I'm
it.
confident that I know that there's nothing in the way, I'm still like, but what if? like there's
Not me. I'm straight. I know these items are sitting on this side of the hallway. I know these are sitting on this side of the hallway. I'll weave my way down there.
what
I'm
if
ready to
rare
go.
chance something
So
moves?
read from me Psalm 119,
Yeah,
105.
Psalm
in
119,
case people don't
105, it says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path."
There we go. It is just that amazing. There's so many different ways, and we could probably spend a week worth of sermons, like 7-8 sermons, just breaking down just as one passage. But I think one of the greatest things and the most important things to look at is when they talk about light in the scriptures, the reference point for light is not the same kind of reference point that we might have for light. So
Right.
when we lights in this, we got lights in the studio that are staring us in the
lot.
face. And when we go to camps, we bring flashlights,
Yeah.
and we bring these mega flashlights, these little things that are like smaller than our thumb, and they project this huge amount of light. But back then, the light they're talking about is a small, like clay lantern. There's this little tiny little thing
Yeah.
that's not going to throw a whole lot of light out into the universe. So it's very limited, and literally at nighttime they can only see like one step ahead of themselves. They're not rushing through anything. In fact, at that time in that area, there's very little nighttime activity because there wasn't a lot of light. So there wasn't anything to go there. So when we look at this passage and David's writing this passage, he's saying, hey, your word is like a lamp. Like I can't see, I don't know what's happening with my next step without you. And so it's referencing God's word as a lamp that helps us keep from stumbling into the next thing.
Yeah.
But not a spotlight, not a floodlight.
Yeah, you're not going to see a million miles down, the road, or a million is excessive, but
Yeah, that would be
a few
quite
hundred.
the flashlight.
It's
or a gajillion.
or a gajillion, yeah, or a
Just keep
bazillion.
it going.
Which one's higher, gajillion or bazillion? I don't know. Anyways,
Another debate. Put that up with our spare pickles. So we have the best way I can equate it is around us we have trails like Parvin's Park.
Yeah.
So like trails in the woods, and I know Adam's up in Connecticut. There's all kinds of hiking trails through there, and if you go through a lot of these hiking trails, They're like designated marked hiking trails. There's two distinguishing features between most of these trails. One, there's a worn path, like so you can kind of follow the worn path. The other thing that a lot of these trails do, especially in state parks, is they'll put a mark on a tree.
It's major,
right? So it's huge. So you have these two things that are kind of identifiers going through. Now, especially like our local one, Parvin State Park, there's a number of different trails that kind of converge together and it splits off and goes in different directions. There's another trailway I'm thinking of too, where you get to an intersection and you got to remember, okay, which color marker am I following?
Yeah.
Which one's going to keep me on the path and keep me going? And then when's the last time anyone updated these marks?
Right? Yeah.
Like first,
which one's faded away? Did they fade out?
Like they first painted it in 1955 and have yet to update it. So you're looking at, I think that's a paint mark. There could be some moss on that tree.
Yeah.
But imagine going at night, and even with the most powerful flashlight, and trying to sort out, walking this trail, trying to see the markings on the tree, trying to stay on the beaten path.
Right.
With just a flashlight. And that's kind of like the best way I can equate this thing that they're talking about, this light of the path, is you can't just go, you have to be intentional, take your time, and kind of walk through
step
that.
by step.
And now, did you know, like in my study, this is really cool, did you know Solomon mentioned this too?
Did he?
Yeah, so Solomon in the line of David in Proverbs 6:23, and you don't have it because I just like was going through it today. Proverbs 6:23 says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching a light." Like he's on top of this thing.
Right on it.
And you know who Solomon's daddy was? Don't shrug.
David.
Okay, good.
This isn't rhetorical.
Podcast. That's right. I was waiting for you to just say it. I didn't want to jump the gun.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to have the answer. Meanwhile,
I was like,
I knew that's a question. I knew that's a
David.
question.
even him looking at me like that, I'm like,
He's like,
am I right? Like maybe I'm wrong. Like,
You know, in my mind, I do get Solomon and Saul pretty mixed up.
okay, I got you.
Very,
Yeah,
very
that
easily.
makes sense. But what's really cool, if you read through, especially just side note, if you go through Proverbs, especially the first like 7 or 8 chapters, and be mindful of who Solomon is, who Solomon's dad is, and you can hear David's voice through Solomon. Like you're like, all right, like a lot of the trappings that David fell into, Solomon's like trying to warn like against those.
It's like, Daddy's been there. Daddy's done that.
Yeah,
Stay away from it, okay?
It's quite impressive. So for him to kind of pull this out, like, you know, oh, maybe he read some of Dad's writings.
Yeah.
And
He is actually attentive.
So obviously thy word is scriptures, a lamp unto my feet. So the word is a guide. It's given to us by God as revelation, as it teaches us about the nature and the character of God. It tells us who he is, because quite frankly, you know, there's too many people out there trying to make up their own characteristics of God. We have the pathway, or laid out for us here, and the Bible tells us who we are as humans. It gives us what our purpose is, and tells us really what's wrong with us, like how messed up we are. The best part about the Bible is, even though it tells us how messed up we are and tells us how awesome and incredible and perfect God is, it also gives us a plan to connect the two,
Right.
and through Jesus Christ, his son. And a lot of times, like when we're talking to people about the Bible, especially non-believers, they have such a negative connotation about it. It's a list of don'ts.
Yep.
It takes away all the fun and all this in life, when actuality, if you think about it, okay, if I had to find this path on my own, like if we had in the dark, go out into the woods and find the path on our own, we'd get lost very, very quickly.
Very.
So, and we'd be in trouble, and it'd be perilous very, very quickly. But if we have the light and we're shown which way to go, we're stay protected, and we're staying on the right path. And that's what scriptures is like, hey, Jesus said, I came to give you life and give you life abundantly. Like I want you on the right path. I want to lead you in this direction. And he goes, and if you try it and you trust me and you go this next step, it's going to be all good. Literally says it all is going to work out for his good. It might not be the easiest path.
Yeah.
It might be a couple tumbles in there. It might be a couple rock walls we have to
It's gonna
overcome.
be better than if you were leading
Right.
yourself.
It's so much better.
From somebody who has, decided, at some point in my life, I was, doing it on my own without God. I wasn't in the scriptures. You asked the question all the time, how can someone do it without God? Like, it's possible, but it sucks.
Right, yeah.
It sucks.
You're not going
especially-
anywhere
and you
with it.
don't realize how much it sucks until like you find God and you really do dive into his word and you let his word be a lamp to your feet, a light to your path. You really allow it to guide you and show you what's next, what's your next step, what's, how you should change this, how can you avoid sin, how can you change these habits in life. It's huge.
Yeah. You got any thoughts, Adam? You probably have thoughts.
Well, it's interesting. This verse is a verse that I teach a lot at Olympians, which is our youth group that I lead at our church. And I have a story that I tell whenever I teach on this lesson, and it's kind of an embarrassing story, but I love to tell it because it gets the kids laughing. But it's a story of when I was first married to your sister. We were living in
Cut. We don't want to hear this.
we were living in a small home in the middle of an apple orchard.
Yes,
And
you
so
were. I remember that.
just darkness. When it was dark at night, it was dark, real dark.
Well, you were married
a lot
to
of
my sister, so
a lot of dark times, man. Dark times. No,
Mayor Rob
No,
was losing it. He just got taked all over this screen. Out there.
things were physically dark and mentally. No, I'm just kidding. No, but a lot of tree cover. So, so there was one night. Steve Bowen.
Yep.
We lived right down the road from him. Steve Bowen is a mentor of mine. He was a teen leader of mine.
He was my
And so-
youth leader. Still doing it.
Yeah,
Still doing it.
and he's still doing it. Yeah, yeah. He's a great man of God.
Yes, he is.
And so I was. He had something that I needed to pick up from him, and so it was 9:00 at night, just completely dark, cloud cover, so not even the moon was shining. And so I took a walk, and I was like, I'll just go. I didn't grab any light or anything. I just went, and I got out on the road, and I walked down his road a little bit. I was maybe a quarter of a mile, third of a mile down the road from him. And I suddenly realized I cannot see my hand in front of my face. It was so dark.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that kind of darkness, right? Where you
Yep.
just can't. All your sensory is gone. You have knocked my microphone. You don't have any sense of direction anymore. And I'm like, I'm so close. I'm just going to keep going. That was a terrible mistake, by the way. And so next thing I know, I'm on my face. I fell off the road
Oh no.
into a ditch
Oh.
on the side of the road. Luckily, there weren't like jagged rocks in there or anything,
right.
but it was. I was okay, but it was. I'm like looking around, seeing if anyone saw me, realizing that it's completely dark out.
I couldn't see me.
Yeah, I couldn't even see me.
I couldn't even see me. So I'm like, all right, no one saw that. I'm good. I'm gonna keep on chugging, So I got up, kept walking, and I'm like, this looks different. This looks interesting. Kind of looks familiar. I was back at my house.
No, wait, you got
Wow.
turned around like that.
I got turned around.
That's wild. Talk about a
At
tricky
that
one.
point, I realized I need a flashlight.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You can't.
And I with the flashlight, it's a little easier.
It's
So
a lot different a journey, huh?
yeah, I tell that story, and the kids laugh at me falling into a ditch, but
Well, it's hilarious.
and it's funny, but at the same time, it's like it's the physical manifestation of that story.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Without God's word, we're just bumbling around in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
We're just grasping and reaching for. We don't know what we're doing. We can't see anything spiritually. We're lost in the darkness.
And that's exactly it.
God's word, just like that flashlight, shows us that you just said it. Shows us that path.
Mm-hmm.
Shows us the right, not only a path or any path, right? Because there are lots of paths,
Yeah.
but it shows us the path, the right path,
Yeah.
the correct path.
Yeah, one of
So-
the names that Jesus uses for himself is the way.
The way.
Yeah.
Yeah, John 14:6, right? Yeah, he's the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah.
Look at him showing off. You got the
He's got
reference
it
and
right
everything.
on,
Yeah.
man.
That's
Oh, I know. Well, we used that verse last year at DBS. So
it's fresh.
Yeah, so speaking
Yeah,
of
it's
VBS, when I sent this over to you, you're like, hey, we're using this verse for our vacation Bible school this year. And I'm like, oh, that's totally cool. So is that like your theme verse for the year and everything?
yeah, so our VBS theme. We base our curriculum on the theme. So, and I write. We don't do group or Answers in Genesis. We for the past 5 years. So I've written our own curriculum, and we've done everything from scratch. So
it's one of the things we've done here at our church, Cumberland County Community Church, Vacation Bible School, August 7th to 8th, 2024. In case you want to know.
Send your kids.
Just putting it out there.
Nice plug.
Superhero.
Nice plug.
But we're big VBS guys. Like you're a big VBS guy. Like you love it so much. You're writing your own curriculum. I love it so much, and we have a great individual MB here on staff who just loves it, and we have a wonderful team of people. Absolutely adore Vacation Bible School. Love what it does for the kids. Such a great thing, and to be able to impart these little nuggets of wisdom, Psalm 119, 105, and all the likes. Like these kids will remember these things. They'll remember that story and be able to equate it to it. And we're huge fans of Vacation Bible School. If you have a chance to get involved as a leader,
do it.
You have a chance to get your kids involved in it. Do it. Send them.
Yeah, I love what you guys do at your church at VBS. You make it an event. You promote it. You create memories, and that's that. The number one thing for me, and I'm sure it is for you as well. The number one thing is that they get the gospel.
Yep.
That's the main idea, and then everything else. If everything else had to get cut, I'd cut everything else.
Yep.
Amen.
We start and end with the gospel, but VBS is like. It's like having cake with frosting and ice cream and cherries.
If you choose, you can have cherries and pickles.
Dump cherries all over it. And pickles.
We'll put the pickles on the side.
And you just dump a bottle of ice on it.
It's like almost universal. You talk to anyone who's been to VBS as a child, almost universally. I'm not going to say 100%. It's pretty stinking close. Everyone has great memories of VBS. And we're talking to people who, dealt with flannel graph back in the day. So we're not, these explosive programs and elaborate sets that we do and all that.
Yeah.
It's exactly, we're trying to tie in a core memory. And when they pull that memory up, they're going to remember the scriptures, the gospel, and we're setting, maybe we're presenting the gospel to them, but we're also planting seeds to be able to present the gospel to their children when they get down the road.
Generations past.
Like this, it's a generational ministry. Is what Vacation Bible School is, and I strongly encourage anyone to get involved in whatever level you can, because the kids. And for what it's worth, like Adam's part of the programming and the stage and dramas and all that kind of stuff to kind of build in the environment. We're also part of the stage crew when we build the stories and we kind of create all that. But what the kids, they might remember that, but they really remember are their leaders that they were hanging out with and the games guy and the craft people. We're just little side notes and puppets and jokers to them.
Yeah, well, they're invested.
We're a piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
They're
invested in those classrooms. They're taking the time to help them with the craft or explain to them the meaning of the lesson.
I love all that stuff.
Sing the songs with them and teach them the moves and the hands and stuff. Fun fact: I never, as a kid, went to VBS.
You never went to VBS as a kid,
so that's why I'm getting it all as an adult.
So I used to be of the mindset man, I can't believe these parents are sending their kids to every single VBS out there. Like, come on! Like, why do you have to send your kid to the VBS hopper? I used to be like, what? Who does that? Like, and
pick one and go with it.
Right, that's exactly it. Just go all in. But now I'm thinking, send them to all of them.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
The more gospel, the better, man.
The more Bible, the better. I had to really change my mindset on that because it used to be like, well, why should we do a VBS if everyone else is doing a VBS and the kids are going to that? But
that was a reason why I started doing our own.
I got you. I understand.
You know what I mean? I mean like writing our own curriculum and doing our own theme, doing our own custom everything. Because you can buy a pack from Group or from Answers in Genesis or whatever, Grow or all that. But there's a chance that the church down the street is going to do the same exact thing.
Yep.
And so there were a couple times where a church down the road did the same one during the same week. It's like.
Or the week after, then you got the kid again. My church, I already know this. We already did this.
Exactly, yeah. So I told our pastor, I was like, we got to do our own. Yeah, we got to do our own at this point, and it's going to be a little more work, but I think it's going to be better.
Yeah, we've done the exact same thing, and plus you can custom make it to your every little behind the scenes. If you're not familiar, you can go out and buy custom made, ready made kits for Vacation Bible School.
Right.
But when it comes to like creative, like I'm a creative type. If you're able to hang out with me, like I just love creative. I know Adam is too. Ready-made kits kill us. It just because we're already going to customize it anyways.
I know.
to the nth degree. So it's just easier to work your own and kind of build your own themes and storylines, and it's so much more fun on that.
And I've stolen a lot of ideas from you, Sam. So it's
Ditto. Little side note: we're not going to tell anybody. This is just between us, but we're probably working on a collab for next year because I can't stop thinking about it already. So we won't spill the beans on that. I don't know where we're at with that. We're not ready.
No
yet.
spoilies. No spoilies.
No spoilies, but there might be a collab working.
It's going to be a fun one for us. Yeah, we had this idea a little while ago, and it just kind of we always like to promote the next one at that VBS, like as like the last thing we announce, like coming next year, like the final teaser.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
And so that's
credits, the B-roll or whatever they call it. Yeah,
the Marvel Avengers teaser.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun theme next year, and I don't know if it's one that's really ever been done around us.
No, I haven't heard. I talked it over with my my director, and we're all in 1,000%. So we'll be getting together on that.
Good stuff.
All I can say to everyone is stay tuned. No.
Come on, man. I feel out of the loop. That's not right.
It is so in the box right now.
This sounds like an office conversation. We haven't had this yet.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
We'll chat off camera, Justin.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This is not for the peoples just yet.
Not yet. It's still cooking.
It's coming. Honestly, I had over the last couple of days, I probably had a good 30-40 minute conversation talking about next year's VBS.
That's great.
Yeah,
we're still trying to figure out this year.
We're still trying.
That happens all the time.
Yeah,
you get so excited about the next one, you're not even thinking about the one that's coming up.
There's a whole lot going on. Meanwhile, we're doing superheroes this year. Your theme this year is the Wild West, right?
No, ours is called Scripture Safari.
Oh, that's right. Last year you were the West, and now you're
last year we did a Western one called Trailblazers. It was really fun.
That's right.
We're doing Scripture Safari. This one's all about God's Word, fittingly, for Psalm 119, 105.
Well, I don't know how you do things, but all our VBSs are about God's Word. So
I mean the lessons. We're talking about the Bible in the lessons, specifically about the Bible. Yeah,
Bible. Just want to highlight that Bible.
We're actually going to use the Bible this year.
Yeah. Hey, gotta start somewhere.
6 years into it, you're ready to go. So speaking of the Bible and Bible stories, Justin has put together a little activity for us. So we're going to go head to head here. Adam. And name is your buzzer. We'll just have to do that. Okay. We'll do the best we can on that. So once you know the answer to it, just say your name, and your name is?
Adam.
Okay. And mine is Sam. And that's how we're going to kind of work these things out. So Justin has some. Well, do you want to describe?
So I have Bible stories, but I'm gonna just poorly tell them. I put them into a one sentence kind of explanation or gist or run off, whatever you want to call it.
Like a plot synopsis?
There we go. That's a great word. Synopsis. Yes, we're going to use
Leave
that.
it to the editor.
One sentence synopsis, and you're going to look at me like, what?
Gotcha.
It's poorly told. It's meant to be that way. So
Love it.
Okay.
If you give me a look, that means I did my job. So give me a look.
So
and make me feel better.
made a little help between the two of us, which between myself, Adam and myself, who gets in first.
Sounds good.
So just stay tuned on that. And there's no time like the present time. So let's try our first one. This is Poorly Explained Bible Stories Game, Edition 1.
Edition 1. All right, let's go. Number 1. Boss continually refuses to grant rightfully requested PTO.
We're starting. Say that one more time.
Boss continually refuses to grant rightfully requested PTO.
Wow, I'm having a hard time thinking through this story. Now, I know in podcast, silence is deadly.
You put this together, right, Justin?
Say it again?
You put this together?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty. He's coming.
Boss continually refuses to grant.
You can change the word boss to man if you want.
Well, yeah, that's PTO. That's just throwing me off.
Personal time off, yeah. Vacation.
The only thing I can
go away.
think of is Sam. I'll get in here. Is Jonah?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So that's.
If you don't get it, do you want me to give you the answer?
Well, I mean, I think you stumped us on this one. We can spend a lot of time in dead silence. It'll help us actually if you give us the answer. It'll help us know.
Yeah.
Like where you're going.
Pharaoh and the Israelites. Let my people go.
You know what?
They
It was
wanted
a
to get away.
PTO.
PTO. Wow,
I got
yeah, I
paid
probably
for
could have
that.
used a better word there. But it did the job. It stumped you, okay?
It did
That
so much.
was
I've got
That
a
was
good
deep.
list
That was
here.
deep. I didn't know we'd have to think so hard.
I know. My brain's hurting right now.
It's all right. I came out with a wham. The other ones might be a
That
little
was
easier. All right, number 2. Man plays extreme darts with human.
Sam, is it David and Goliath?
No.
Extreme darts.
You're close, though.
You can't say I'm close. You got to wait till now he's going to start thinking.
Extreme darts with a human.
with
Yeah.
human.
With human.
With human.
I got. It's not the death of Saul, is it?
No.
Okay, what is it?
It's King Saul trying to spear David.
King Saul trying to spear David.
Oh, I had the right character, just the wrong
you're
story.
right,
You're
yeah.
right
I kept
in
my
there.
mouth shut because
Yeah.
I almost
Very
gave
good.
it away.
Very good. I know. You're like.
I just
really
remember
close.
Saul was like pinned to the wall after he died.
Yeah,
Or-
that's a good. Actually, I should have thought of that one too.
Well, right now, Justin has 2 points,
Oh, how the tables have turned.
All right.
and we're over.
Oh, all right.
Wow, I'm hurting.
Yeah, this is. When we were talking about it, I was like, "Look, there's some kiddie ways of doing this, and then there's some."
I went
You-
the non-kitty
you
way.
went all in. All in.
This one might be a little easier. Village outcast now allowed back into the village.
I'm gonna say, Sam, is that the story of the 10 lepers?
Yes.
Hey, all right.
Very good
Got
job,
one on the
Sam.
board here. Got one on the board.
All right.
Pretty exciting.
Nice job on that. Nice
Yeah.
job.
Thank you.
Next
Thank
one.
That was good. That was good.
Popular animal gets beaten into speaking truth.
you. Sam,
Adam.
Balaam.
Oh,
That was close. That was close.
I
Yes,
saw his
Balaam and
finger
the
go up.
donkey.
Adam's trying to remember his name.
Adam.
that's Balaam's donkey, isn't it?
Yes,
is
Balaam's donkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, crazy,
Good
crazy
job.
story, isn't it? Like,
This is
side note,
so
like,
good.
can
That
you
is a
imagine?
wild story.
It's like so, like, it's one of those where you're like, that's so unfathomable, so hard to believe.
It's like donkeys can see angels.
And why didn't
It's
he respond like more shocked?
I was just about to say that.
always
Why
got
is
me.
why is Balaam so calm in talking
Yeah.
back to the donkey
Yeah.
and not being like, like scared? Yeah, like screaming, like, why is this animal talking to me?
That's great.
Okay, another
But-
side note: talking donkeys. Like what movie?
Come on. Shrek.
Shrek, right?
Oh yeah, Shrek,
I
Shrek.
almost wanted to use a Shrek reference on it, but I didn't want to give it away too easily.
It's great.
Ogres are like Kate's.
I'm watching Shrek tonight.
No donkey, they're like onions.
That's a good
He's on it. He's on
That
it.
is. All right. Next one. God brings family new pets for their aquatic adventure.
Oh, Sam, Noah,
Noah's Ark. Yep.
new pets for the
Wow.
aquatic adventure. Love that.
I'm being dominated. Right
Yeah, I don't know if there's a delay. I'm gonna say there's absolutely no delay.
It's all good.
Between
This may be a clean sweep, but we'll see. Hey, you're up 3-0. It's okay.
3, yep.
All right. Sand art saves woman's life.
I didn't hear that.
Sand art saves woman's life.
Sand art.
Sand art saves a
Saves
woman's
woman's life.
Oh, Sam. That's when Jesus scribbles on the ground and says,
Ding, ding,
"He
ding.
who
Adulterous
without
woman in
sin
the
casts the
crowd.
first
That's
stone."
right.
Wow.
Another great question in heaven is, what did Jesus write?
Oof.
There's a lot of theologians out there. Not a lot. There's a few theologians that feel like he might have written down the sins of the people who were holding the stones.
Man, oh, man.
Or the names of the men who had slept with her. Because remember, she was accused
Oh,
of adultery.
Yeah.
right.
And she
right.
was pulled out,
Yeah.
not the men.
That's a good
So the men
point.
could very well been in that
circle.
circle. And he was writing their names down. Jesus could have done it.
and Jesus is real nice about
That's
it. He could have
that's
said,
a
well,
baller.
if your
That's
name
baller.
is here on
Wouldn't
the
that
sand,
be
you,
like,
you know, yeah.
that's always got, that was one of the things I think later on in life I learned. I'm like, wow, like, where are the guys?
Yeah.
Like, it takes two
That's a
to
good point.
tango in this
Never
situation.
thought about that one.
And
Mm.
that's one of those when I meet Jesus questions. Like,
Can I ask him,
what'd
what
you
did
write
you
down?
write?
It might be in this hallway just displayed up there. He's like, enough people have asked me. I'm just gonna,
Did you know?
I'm just gonna, just lay it out right here, ready to go. He's like, enough.
Did you know plaques all over the wall?
Right, Peter, just send them down this hallway, and if they still have questions afterwards, then you
The
guys
hall of knowledge.
It's like, I know we have eternity, but these people are eternally asking me these questions.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Just send them
let's
this
knock it
way
out.
and it'll make it way back.
right?
All right, let's get this out of the way. What do you want to know?
What's your one question? You only get one.
Right. Oh, that would be the worst. Okay.
Next one.
Let's just recap the score here as I'm counting. 1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4-0.
Adam, I believe in you.
4-0. I know. I'm hurting.
All right. Man gets haircut but loses more than just his hair.
Adam.
Yes.
Samson.
Yeah,
yes.
there we go. I could have just said the thing, and it still would have sounded like I was saying my name for a minute. Just
Although yours would have just said son.
Son, yeah, son.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Son, wait, what? Whose son? Your son? Whose son? Next one.
I got one on the board. I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bravo.
Yep.
Next one here. Man gets scolded by woman for bringing home a box and dancing.
Sam, that's when David's bringing home the ark, and he's dancing around, and she's like embarrassed by him because he's the king and he shouldn't be dancing there.
No dancing in the streets.
Right, and was like there's that's a new wave, like dance like David danced and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff.
Box and
Good job.
dancing. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the box.
Nice.
It was a dance,
Yep.
the scolding and dancing. The box came to me as I was explaining the
Yeah.
answer.
Wait,
You're making a fool out of yourself, David. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Poor party planning encourages ridiculous party transformation.
Say that again.
Poor party planning encourages ridiculous party transformation.
Oh, I know.
Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway, just as a shot. Is this ridiculous party planning? Would this be Martha and Mary?
Ooh, no,
No.
that's a good answer.
No. Okay.
I know
okay.
what it is. It's Jesus turning water into wine.
Water to wine. Yeah.
Poor party
planning.
turns into what?
Oh yeah, not enough wine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
As soon
I
as
was
you
trying
said
to
your
find
name,
the right
it
way
came
to
me.
word that one specifically.
That's
too.
great. No,
As soon as I said my name, I knew that I was like, this might not be the one.
You're doing a good job. Now that we kind
Thank you.
of catching the groove on this.
All right, let's see if this one throws you off a bit. I was trying to find the right way to word this one too. Let's see if I did an okay job. Man leaves party after he realizes he didn't bring his wallet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man leaves party
I can explain at the end how
after
it
he
ties in.
realizes he didn't bring his wallet. Mayor Rob's in the background. thinking
Robert,
through-
is this the story of the prodigal son, the son that didn't bring?
No, but that's a good thought.
Sounded better in my head.
Yeah, I agree.
Mayor Rob thought he was going to cut us off and take the answer
I
from us.
did, man.
All I see is like Adam's like his head is just like bobbling, like I see it's moving the thinking going.
Do you see the smoke?
I think
He's
it's
got a
like
screen in the back with
in the
Google,
office,
what is
like
this
how
one?
the icon is just moving around. That's kind of what I'm seeing. You're
Wait till he hits the corner.
listen, I'm calling defeat on this one.
I gotta put in a guess. I think.
Yeah,
give
go
me a
for
guess.
it.
Man leaves a party after he doesn't bring his wallet. The first name that came to my head was Judas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need some
The
explanation.
30 pieces of silver.
The reason he forgot his wallet, so he went to go get 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take it.
He got the money. Yeah,
Hey,
good job. That's a
I'll
great
give
job.
it to you.
there.
I'll give it to you. That was. I thought it, and I just, who I was thinking the other was the rich man asking Jesus about getting to heaven. So that
Oh,
was one
yeah,
I was
that's a good
thinking
one,
of.
The
too.
rich young ruler.
But
Yeah.
the party was throwing me off a little bit, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking he
that was
forgot his
when he
wallet,
left
being
the
like,
supper.
"Oh, I have to go back and get it." That was my
Get a
thinking.
Yeah.
slip out here.
Yeah.
And
All right,
30
all right.
pieces of silver.
I appreciate Justin. I appreciate the celebration.
Yes. I didn't know if it was gonna. Yes, it's my God. Come
Let's
on now.
go.
Oh, how many more? You need like 6 more. Okay, I'm not going against Sam. Just saying.
There's a common theme in my life that people gang up at home. So I have, my wife and my 2 boys, and it doesn't matter what game we're playing. I am at a disadvantage because until I'm out, it's 3 versus 1.
Yeah.
It is always 3
yeah.
versus 1.
I'm going to let you guys a little in here too with family things too. Okay, so growing up with your family, I found out pretty quick that you guys are all very competitive, very competitive with
Yes.
each other.
The ripples are
and I loved being a part of that. I thought that was just so fun. Even though sometimes you guys would just like devolve into arguments and stuff, and it was fun. But yeah, so
like our family's so competitive. My dad's one of those dads that wasn't going to let me win any sport. Like when you beat him, you
was
won.
a big deal.
Oh, it was a deal, and it wasn't.
You guys went at it.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after I beat my dad. The first time I beat my dad 1-on-1 in basketball that we stopped playing 1-on-1 in basketball.
You know what? Coming at it.
What a coincidence!
I don't know what happened. He was always getting hurt right before we were going to play.
Oh well.
So
He was like, wah, wah.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, it carries on. Like all our family get-togethers, like everyone's got that kind of. Even the spouses are kind of in on it. They kind of indulge us a little bit.
Yeah.
We've all kind of embraced it as time has gone on for sure.
Every game is super competitive and loud. Like we get loud.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a couple more here.
Yeah, I got a couple more. Here's this one. Family gets sick of all natural, organic, non-GMO porridge.
Say that again. It's worth hearing again.
Family gets sick of all natural, organic, non-GMO porridge.
All right, Sam's going to put a guess in here, and I'm going to say it's the Israelites and complaining that they wanted some quail.
Israelites complaining
Yeah.
They wanted some meat.
Organic, non-GMO.
I love that.
That's
I
what
love
it was, man.
I
That's
think
so true. That's good.
Hilarious.
That's so good.
That was really good. Well done on that one. Well done.
Thank you.
You're
And
the next time
what,
you teach are going to be so distorted. These teens are going to be so lost.
I'm gonna have to just do a lesson just poorly
Organic,
told.
grass-fed quail.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, grass-fed quail. Yes.
I mean, how ungrateful are the Israelites?
Seriously,
right?
like y'all are getting free food at that
Like,
one,
you don't
but it's
have to
on
do
a daily
nothing.
basis.
They're like, it's not good enough. I need more.
We'd rather be slaves and eat meat
Oh
than
my
eat
Yeah.
this
I'm thirsty.
non-GMO porridge.
Yeah, yeah, give me some water.
Wah, call the wham-blam.
Yeah.
Non-GMO porridge.
I always wonder what that. I know the Bible described manna as tasting like honey and kind of sweet. I always wondered what it would have tasted like.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Add it to the hall.
Yeah,
It'll probably
right.
in the hallway. When we get to
Did you know?
It'll be
Right
like
down there.
BJ's with the free
Did you know?
sample. It's like, here's your manna.
Oh, that's it. That's exactly. It's like Costco. Like,
Yeah, imagine
like just
that.
sitting there and you come around and grab your little
Like, I
cup.
would like
and,
to think that God is already prepared for all these questions that we
Oh,
have for him.
1000%.
So
Like,
he's got to have these sections. Like, all right,
I'm
you're going to
thinking
hall
Adam's
A,
got
B.
it. It's a hallway. It's a did you know hallway. I can already see the neon, reflecting off the gold walls. And
Like Aaron or her is standing there.
Borderline like going to the
Giving out-
Franklin Institute.
you go to the picture, you push the button, so it starts playing for you and all this stuff. And
Whole museum.
everyone gathers around. There's, I see it. I see it happening.
Welcome to heaven.
Ding dong.
Yeah, I love it.
Like,
If you do not
you
have
get-
your tickets,
you get
please go
headphones
to
for the
next
guided
line.
tour.
Oh,
That's amazing.
I can't wait to
Is
go
it
to
light-
heaven.
is it lightning going on right? All right, let's do two more.
Two more.
Sure.
All right. Next one. Spontaneous combustion speaks to man.
Say it again.
Just
Spontaneous combustion speaks to man.
Spontaneous combustion speaks.
Adam.
Go ahead.
Adam. That's Moses in the burning bush.
Boom. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I was, my initial thought was Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm like, so they didn't really do a lot of talking, but that's a spontaneous combustion.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Lot's wife. Lot's wife could have been an interesting one. Yeah, spontaneous
that's
combustion.
So true.
Right in there.
Yeah, that was a pretty broad one. Good job picking the right one.
Yeah, well done.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So I currently have a 7-3 lead.
Never too far gone.
So you're
You got two more?
guaranteed the win.
Yeah, I got two more.
Well, let's hear. We'll get two more, double the point. So if you get the
okay.
next one right, it'll put some pressure on the last one. So you get 2 points for the next two. Is that
Yeah, I
you
think
got
that's
that?
fair, yeah.
Okay.
We'll make it interesting.
That's all I'm trying to do is make it interesting. Meanwhile, in post edit, I'm gonna have the scoreboard sitting right at the bottom.
In case anybody forgets.
There you go.
All right, here's this one. Couple breathe their last after being called out for their devious financial gain.
Adam.
Say it. Oh,
Oh, good job, Adam.
That's Ananias and Sapphira, right?
Boom, yes.
Elvira. I don't know why that came to mind. That's
Don't be
Sapphira.
cheating. Don't be cheating
Don't
the
be
early church
cheating.
out of their cash.
That's right. I know that's right.
That's
And they
the one-
put
Come on
it
now.
in such a nice way. They breathe their last.
Yeah, that was. I
How
thought
did
that was
they die?
very
Like, come
well
on, did they
stated.
just walk
All right.
away?
Best case scenario, Adam, you get this one. You can tie. Worst case scenario, you're going to hang your head in shame and walk away losing to Rimple again.
All right.
Well, I'm already doing that because you're basically like handing it to me like a baby. So
What?
it's okay. You've won. You've won.
Let's go.
This is just to make it interesting.
It's interesting.
Man given a task to complete, but decides to do his own trick instead.
His own trick instead. Oh, that is so broad. There's so much.
Ooh.
Read that again.
Man given a task to complete, but decides to do his own magic trick instead. Magic trick.
Magic trick.
Oh, now we change it.
It's
to
trick.
magic
I didn't
trick.
mean to say magic.
His own trick
I don't believe in
instead.
magic.
His
You know.
own trick instead. There's so many examples
Part of me
in
just
the
wants
Bible that I could get to. Wow.
Trick.
So that's a full-blown stump. Read it one more
trick.
time, and we'll see if we can knock this one
Man
out.
given a task to complete, but decides to do his own trick instead.
So, Sam, I'm going to say
go for
Moses
it.
striking the rock.
Bing.
Boom!
Yeah.
Drop the
Good job.
mic.
That was right on.
Boom. There we go.
You earned that one, man. You earned it.
That one is there. That's where we get the little clap thing going in there.
Well
Oh,
done.
my goodness.
Good job.
That was a good one.
I
That was a
mean
good
that
one.
from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
Sam.
you. That was
That was a tough
that was
one.
very entertaining.
I
We're
was
definitely-
wanting to answer that so bad, but I was thinking Jonah. He was told to go to Nineveh, but he decided to just go
Right,
away.
it goes
Very
on
true.
way. So that trick
Little
was the key.
trick was-
Yeah.
The magic trick was there. So the other thing I was thinking of too was I was like, well, what happened when Moses and facing Pharaoh and all that
The
stick?
serpent,
I was like, no,
yeah.
but he was told
With the
to do that.
staff, yeah.
Such a good
So then
point.
it just kind of had to work and cycle through that. Well, I think this has been quite entertaining for us.
It was fun.
I don't know if anyone
It
else
was
is going to find it to be fun.
I had a lot of fun doing that.
But I definitely love having you on, Adam. I'm so grateful that you took time out of your day and joined us. And I know you're going to have a lot of big fans now. So just so you guys know, he does have his own podcast, Gospelicious Radio. We'll put that tag in our show notes so you can be able to go over there and check that out. They do a lot of hot topics, especially some of the controversial stuff that's happening in the church. Him and Pastor Tim break it down quite entertainingly. Like it's they have their own little twist on how they do things. It's not nearly as good as our podcast. Like,
Oh no,
they try.
no, not even
But you have
close.
to check it out. You have to check it
Not
out.
even close.
It's definitely worth a check out. And they can you have a link tree that has all your things on it.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll
Yep.
make sure that's sitting out there. Again, it's Gospelicious
Awesome.
Radio if you're searching that out. And it is Adam Miner, if you
Miner.
want to know. And he changed my sister's name. It's still weird for me. Even it's in my phone and all. I can't even like.
You can't process it.
It's a very difficult thing. It's a very
She's
difficult
been a
thing.
rebel her whole life, and this guy comes around and changes
Just
it
changes
up.
up, just like that.
The-
She
the
just gives
audacity.
it up. I'm like, how?
Even after 17 years.
No, see, in
Still?
my mind, yeah, it hasn't been that long. I'm watching the kid grow up. I'm watching the girl grow up. It still feels like you guys just got married just a little while
yeah.
ago.
Feels like
You're
yesterday.
still little Adam who keeps coming around, and now we know why.
Yeah, right? Now we understand.
17 years later, I think we finally figured it out. All right, so
Mystery
Adam,
solved.
we close out every episode expounding upon the knowledge that we gained from these things, and we call it "What Did You Learn?" So I'll give you a second to think on that. I always go to Justin first and catch him off guard.
Yeah.
Justin, what did you learn from episode Tresa?
Trece.
What's Tresa?
Nah,
Nothing. Okay.
Probably nothing. Most likely. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong.
What did
but-
you learn from episode Tresa?
One, I learned that Adam works with the youth. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
I feel
yes,
like
he
I don't
does.
know if we've talked about that before, but he's a youth guy. I'm a youth guy, so he's in. Like
Yeah.
he can marry your sister 1,000 times. It doesn't matter in my book now.
Well,
I just might. Who knows?
You might as well just do it again, dude. Just do it again. Don't even ask Sam for permission either. I don't know if you asked him for permission the first time, but don't do it this time. You're in.
You know,
You're
that's
in.
a good question. I don't think he did. So it's
No,
not
I-
valid. I'm trying to remember. I feel like we had a conversation. I don't know if you asked for permission or just gave me a heads
I was
up.
thinking about it like as a guy. I just felt
But
like
I know
it
with
was
Seth, you probably talked to Seth about it for sure.
I'm pretty sure I reached out.
I feel like you did reach out to everyone before. The question
It's been a long time, man.
did I respond?
yeah, right. Did he give you the answer?
Like,
did you receive his
New
blessing?
phone, who dis?
yeah, right. I don't know who you're talking about.
Like,
Sorry, I don't know an Adam. I know an Adam.
New
agent,
phone,
not an
who
Adam
dis?
Miner.
I have no idea. Marry my sister.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Adam. Actually, we're missing the great note. So Adam has one of the greatest uncle nicknames of all time. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I was going to put it in the opening.
Yeah.
So my son Tadden is the oldest in the Rimple side. So he's the first one that establishes, what the grandparents are going to be called, what the aunts and uncles are going to be called. Now, my sister growing up was always Sissy. So she's Aunt Sissy. I still call her Sissy. I forget sometimes what her real name is. It's Sissy in my phone. That's just what I call her. She'll always be that. Doesn't matter how old she gets, she'll always be Sissy to me. Well, when Tadden's starting to speak and use words, which is a great thing. Kids,
awesome, yeah.
That's what speaking is, yes.
Yeah. So we're like, this is Uncle Adam. And he goes, Dum Dum? Locked it in. And for the longest time, he was Uncle Dum Dum. I mean, the longest time, Uncle Dum Dum.
I have to say, I got to insert something here because I remember that day very well. I think we were at a park down the road from where you lived at the time. And he was running around a tree, repeating it over and over and over again. And you jumped on that so quick.
I locked it in. I locked it in.
You immediately locked it in.
Yeah.
And I said, this isn't going. I looked over to Sarah and I said, this isn't going anywhere, is it? She goes, nope. Nope. It's this is permanent.
And it was Uncle Dum Dum to everyone. I think only recently when the kids are getting older into where it's less cute for a 19-year-old kid to say Dum Dum.
Hey, Uncle Dum Dum.
It's a lot less cute for this guy who looks more old and adult than you do to call you Uncle Dum Dum.
That's funny.
But
he's more than welcome to, but I don't think he will.
No, probably not. He's a little more classy than that now.
Uncle now. Hey, Uncle.
All right, Uncle Dum Dum, what did you learn on this episode?
I learned that Justin is an absolute animal for putting pickles on his sandwich. I mean, that is just.
I'm just going to piggyback.
Check your heart, brother.
I think he's an animal for making his daughter put pickles on her sandwich when she does not want that. That I cannot believe. Unbelievable.
Check your heart.
I can see him standing in Chick-fil-A line. Extra pickles for her sandwich, please. This poor kid has not had the taste of a pure Chick-fil-A #1 because you have ruined it for her.
I think it's time for a parenting book.
It's a #1 rule. Get your own pickles. You're a grown man. Don't make a kid get the pickles.
MacArthur parenting book.
Meryl, I know, unfortunately, you have not had a lot of opportunity to speak.
I've been entertained.
What did you learn this episode?
Well, there's a lot of things, but the one thing that I could think of is I didn't realize Justin could stump some of us. That was good.
Hey, look at that.
That was good.
Point.
Got some tricks up my sleeve.
It is possible that Justin might know something we don't know.
Or at least
By the way,
word it in a confusing way.
Real quick before we go, I have a question for you, Justin.
Yeah.
I was watching episode 1 a while ago when you guys just first published the first one, and you told a story about being related to an Oompa Loompa.
Yes, great callback.
Yep,
great callback.
sure.
Is that legit?
That's
true
legit.
story.
It's legit.
It's true story.
It is in the family lineage.
That is fantastic.
Right.
I love
You can't
that.
write that
It is the
script.
best.
You can't write
You
that.
cannot write that.
And did
That
you
was
run
that-
into that family, not that family member, but people directly connected to
Oh,
that
yeah.
family member at a
100%.
recent party or something like
Yep.
that? You said you came through. And I'm telling you,
That is so cool.
You pull up some of those old pictures and you look at it like you're looking for Justin, you'll find him.
You'll find it, yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's 1,000%
Yeah, it is
there.
something. As I grew up, I didn't necessarily believe it until it didn't go away, and then I'm like, okay, it's legit. Yeah. So, and then you put 2 and 2 together. You see my grandma and her sisters, and you're like, yeah, I can see the Oompa Loompa, thing going on. Yeah. So,
Hey,
no, 100%.
okay.
So now I was walking the hallway the other day, and someone, I forget who. Every time I see you, I just start singing Oompa Loompa. I'll take it. Yes, that's right.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, Uncle Dum Dum, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Without a doubt, it was my cheeks are hurting
Yeah,
from all
same.
the laughter, and I won the game, so it's definitely a win on that one. Again, we are so grateful that everyone chooses to listen. Don't hesitate to reach out and connect with us.
Yep.
Reach out and find Gospelicious Radio at the link that will be provided. This has been episode number 13. I'm Sam.
Justin.
God bless.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Making Light of It. Please connect with us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links in the description of this episode. We would love to hear from you. please feel free to email us at makinglightofitpod@gmail.com. And remember to like, share, or subscribe so you'll be notified when the next podcast is uploaded. Thank you, and as always, God bless.